These are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon. This is Nina Gilden-Seavey. I'm the director of the Documentary Center here at George Washington University. I want to welcome you to today's webinar about the 2016 Institute for Documentary Filmmaking. The length of today's presentation will be about 20 minutes, followed by 10 minutes of questions. I will be taking questions at the end of the presentation. Please type your inquiries into the questions section in the GoToWebinar control panel. I will read and then answer as many questions as time allows. If you are having a technical issue or problems with the webinar, please let us know via the chat section in the GoToWebinar control panel, and we will try to address these issues as quickly as possible. As a reminder, please be sure to mute your phone, computer speakers throughout the duration of the webinar. And I think we're ready to get started. So now after that little introduction, we'll have some conversation about the Institute for Documentary Filmmaking and the Documentary Center here at George Washington University. What do? We teach documentary filmmaking. We produce high-quality documentary films for national and international audiences. We host a multiplicity of symposia, seminars, and screenings that foster a dialogue about the present and future of documentary film. We encourage the production of documentary films by emerging filmmakers across the globe, and we forge a community of new and established documentary filmmakers at home and abroad. We are well known for what we've been doing. We have done it for the last 26 years. We are ranked one of the top 10 documentary film programs in the country. And this is actually the only 6-month intensive program that you can find in the nation that teaches documentary film. And we do that between January and June each year. Each year, we select about 15 to 18 students to accept into the Institute for Documentary Filmmaking. Who are we? You've just met me. I'm the director and founder of the Documentary Center, and I'm the principal instructor for the Institute. And I have been a documentary filmmaker for nearly 30 years. I'm an Emmy Award-winning filmmaker, and I'm always making new work, which I also frequently share with my students. Chitra Jairam is our documentary filmmaker and is an educator, and she has her MFA in production from the University of Texas at Austin, and she is the technical instructor for the Institute. Josh Spicer is our program and operations manager, and he is your main point of contact throughout the application process. He's worked in film festival management and curation, and has also been working in higher education for the past 10 years. So he is your number one go-to person. This is the benefits of our program. This is the only 6-month intensive graduate program, as I said, in the nation. A master's program at other universities are always going to take you 2 to 3 years and are going to cost anywhere between $100,000 and $150,000. We are located in Washington, D.C., which is obviously known now as the Docuwood of filmmaking, with PBS, Discovery Channel, National Geographic, and many, many organizations that feed into the documentary world. You become a part of you have opportunities to interact with award-winning filmmakers and many people across the spectrum, both emerging and accomplished filmmakers and individuals in the industry. You get to meet alumni. As I said, we've been doing this for 26 years, and we have many, many people who have been involved in our program and who have gone on to do amazing things, both independently within podcast. We're going to talk about some of those things, but it is you become a part of a community, a family of people who have been in the Institute for Documentary Filmmaking. And you get amazing continued mentorship opportunities that go on and on throughout your years. We never lose track of our alumni, and they are frequently coming back to us for advice and counsel, recommendations, and encouragement. The Institute experience, what is it going to be like? The initial portion of the program runs from January through March and is on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 6:30 and 8:30 and 8 p.m. Outside of class, you're going to watch many films, you're going to read books, you're going to do a lot of writing, a lot of sort of analysis, you're going to be doing some practical exercises. It's a lot of work, but we think it's a lot of fun. In March and April are training portions of the program, and these are done in small groups that are both done during the week. And specifically, there are 2 required weekends, and we'll let you know about those in your admissions packet. And then obviously you have other trainings and practices periodically throughout the week. In May and June, you're going to be working 24/7 to complete your group film. There are 2 films every year, and they're in groups of 7 to 8 individuals, depending on how many people we have in the program. But it is a very intense, very enlivened, very all-encompassing, and very sort of it's a life-changing experience. We have a very intensive internship opportunities at the Institute, and they are open to all of our students. Those internship opportunities begin in late January, and you would be working somewhere between 15 to 20 hours a week. These are not compensated, but you get an amazing array of information and practical experience in the internships, and they can range from production organizations to film production companies to broadcast companies. It's a very wide spectrum of places that have been our host organizations. Because we are so selective in our admissions, our interns are highly, highly sought after. What are the requirements? You have to have a bachelor's degree from an accredited institution of higher education. We do not require you to have any media experience at all. We can teach you whatever it is that you need to know. And frequently, when we have individuals who have a lot of experience, we end up actually needing to break a few bad habits. But, you don't have to have experience, or you can have a lot of experience. But the training throughout the program is the same for everyone, and everyone is required to take all of the same training, no matter what your level of experience. There is no testing, no GRE that you would need to take this program. Foreign students who need a visa are not eligible for this program. So if you do need a visa, a student visa, this would not be the program for you. The application process. You need to complete an online application form, of course. We need 2 letters of recommendation. We always prefer one academic, one recommendation, and one professional recommendation. But if you've been out of school for a long time and you only have professional recommendations, that's fine too. We need all college or university transcripts. Even if you just took one class at a community college, we must have all transcripts. There are 2 personal essay statements of 500 words each that you're going to be filling out. And if you are an eligible foreign student, you must take the TOEFL, even if you went to a university in which English was the language of instruction. So if you are from a non-English speaking country, you must take the TOEFL, no matter what your language of instruction at the university was. Our priority application for deadline is November 1st. Keep that in mind. We do take applications after November 1st, but I will tell you that we do fill very, very quickly. We are a very competitive program, and we want to be able to give your application the great read that it deserves. So get your application in by November 1st. You go to go.gw.edu application, and you can go directly to our application form. What is the costs? The cost for the 2016 Institute is $12,000. It's a flat fee for non-GW students. For GW degree-seeking students, MA or PhD students, it is the total cost of 9 graduate credits, but that is only if you are a GW student. But for everybody else, all other degree-seeking candidates from other institutions, or for any other non-degree seeking student, it is a flat $12,000. Financial aid and scholarships. Everybody is always very interested in this. We have one scholarship that we award annually, which is the Elberger Scholarship, and that is a $2,500 award that is given to one student. And there is an essay that is due, and you can see that on our website, about why you would be eligible for the Elberger, and that is also due with your application on November 1st. There are 2 financial aid options. There is a staggered payment plan. There are 4 payments, and please be aware that your first payment will be a double payment. Normally it's a 5-payment plan. You're coming as institute students, you're coming into the financial aid process a little late. The first payment plan will be 2/5, and then you will pay 3 more that'll be 1/5 apiece. There are also private alternative loans. You are not eligible under this program for Pell or other federally assisted financial aid, but there are private alternative loans, and our financial aid office can help you contact those alternatives. What do you get out of this? First, you get a certificate in documentary filmmaking that is very highly prized in the industry. People all over the world know the Institute for Documentary Filmmaking because we've been here for 26 years, and we do understand that you might well be venturing out to any place that you might want to be engaged in documentary filmmaking, and the Institute certificate is highly valued. You also receive 9 graduate credits. You can choose to allocate those credits to another program, even if you don't need them. This is a graduate program, and the level of work is commensurate with all graduate education. So it is a 9-credit program, whether or not you need those credits. You do have the ability to premiere your institute film in festivals, and we've been having great success with that. And you become a lifelong member of a lifelong community of Documentary Center alumni and friends. And that turns out to be very, very valuable as you move forward in your career, because those connections we've had, I'd say 450 people who have come through this program, 500 people, and they now form an alumni network for you. We've had many Institute films, as I mentioned, be screened in festivals. And so those they've been at the Atlanta Film Festival, the Colorado Environmental Film Festival, the GI Film Festival, all over the country. Our students are screening their films, and that has been, has also been, added to the prestige of our program. They've won numerous awards, including the Best of DC by Snag Films and the DC Office of Motion Picture, and an award of excellence in the short documentary category by Without a Box. They've also received a Cine Award for Best Student Film. So, what can you do after the Institute? Well, a lot of things. In 6 short months, and there are 6 intensive short months, but there's 6 short months, you are going to have really found yourself transformed into an emerging filmmaker. Our former students go into broadcasting, online journalism, museum video exhibitions, new media and film outreach, advocacy filmmaking for nonprofits is a place where a lot of our former students go for social action filmmaking, and obviously also into independent filmmaking. Some of our students go right into creating their own films. So it's a very broad and diverse opportunity that sort of awaits you at the end of the Institute. You can read a little bit about our alumni testimonials. I have it up on the screen here, but the proof is in the pudding. Our students are known throughout the country as being some of the highest quality documentary students that graduate each year. It's a tough program, where it's a demanding program, but what you garner throughout these 6 months is absolutely invaluable. Everything from film conceptualization to screenwriting to lighting, camera, sound, editing, full production, from soup to nuts. And it is an unparalleled transformative experience in the life of an emerging filmmaker. As I said, you can go to a film school and spend, $100,000 to $150,000, 2 to 3 years of your life, and you will come out with most of the same skills that you come through in 6 months, 6 very intensive months in the Institute for Documentary Filmmaking. So, do you have more questions? As I mentioned at the very beginning, your main point of contact for admissions is Josh Spicer, and you can reach him at joshuaspicer@gwu.edu. Also, just pick up the phone and give him a call at 202-994-6787. He'll give you lots and lots of information. Our website is also chock full of information. There's a week-by-week breakdown of what it is that we do. There's all kinds of written on information on our website. You can go to our Facebook page. You should like us on our Facebook page. It'll give you lots and lots of information about things that are going on at the center that we do all year, some of our programming. So you'll want to take advantage of sort of all of the opportunities that the Documentary Center offers in addition to the Institute for Documentary Filmmaking. And of course, follow us on Twitter at GWDocs. So, questions. I'd like to open it up to questions. And as I said at the beginning, if you have a question, go ahead and type it into the questions box. And I'm going to read those questions aloud. Obviously, you see in front of you one of our graduation ceremonies. We do a great event at the end of the 6th month, right at the end of June, beginning of July, where you screen your films and you get the real experience of having had a premiere for your film before you go out into the world of becoming a documentary filmmaker. So what are some of your questions? Is there, do you have questions about what it is that we do? How effective is it that we do? Do you have questions about scheduling it into your real life? I have one question. Is there GI eligibility? Because this is a special program, I can't tell you whether you can use your GI Bill. You'll have to check whether or not certificate programs are eligible. But you should go ahead and check with your Veterans Affairs office as to GI eligibility. It is a flat rate program, as I said, at $12,000. Good question. How many people apply to the Institute every year? It really varies. We can have anywhere to 40 to 50 individuals. And as I said, we take about 15 to 18 individuals in any given year. So it is a competitive program. When we're making our selections, the thing that you want to keep in mind is that we are less interested in how well you've learned to push any button. It's nice that you might be able to edit or to do some shooting. That's great. But the fact is we're interested in who you are as a person. We're interested in how will you meld with a production unit? How worldly are you? How good are you at solving problems? How good are you at being able to work as a team? Documentary filmmaking is not a solo enterprise. And people think, oh, I'll just go out and take my camera and edit my film and I'll just sit in my box. Well, you know what? That's not documentary filmmaking. So what you want to show us is that you are a team player. You know how to be a problem solver, that you've got life experience that somehow will add to the production team. All of these things are critical to show you that, for you to show us exactly how you might go ahead being a great participant in the Institute and ultimately into a production team. a question, would you need to see any video work? No, we actually don't care whether or not, and that's as I said, we don't care that you have done previous video work. We are concerned about who you are as an individual. What are you going to bring to this experience? What are you going to garner from this experience? What are you going to, how good a team player are you going to be? So, if you've done video work, we think that's fine. But that doesn't speak to the intensity of this experience and what you're going to bring with it and what you're going to get out of it. So we don't require any previous media experience. As I always say, I can teach a monkey to push the buttons. I cannot teach a monkey to be a great storyteller. And so what we're looking at are looking for rather are people who are really going to be great storytellers, who are going to be great problem solvers, who are going to be great members of a production team, who are collaborative in nature, who have a life experience that has challenged them in some way. And those are the people who are the best candidates. Nowhere in there does it mean that, it's not nice that you've done other previous work, but that's not the central question that we require. And certainly not one that we think is necessarily going to make you a great member of a production team who wants to come into the Institute. As I said, there's lots and lots of opportunities to learn in this program. There's, no end of internship opportunities. There's no end of opportunities to really learn from some of the best filmmakers in America, and that's something that is very unique. Really unique to this program. Got a question. I've been doing video production for 15 years, but have no formal education. Everything has been self-taught. Would somebody without a bachelor's degree be eligible? Actually, no. You must have, in order to garner entry into any GW graduate program, of which this is one, you have to have an undergraduate degree from an accredited university or college, obviously. We must have all of your transcripts and all of your, and we need proof that you obviously have received a diploma from an accredited program of higher education. So unfortunately, we do not take anybody who is without a bachelor's degree. Hang on, we've got some more questions coming up here. Here's a good question. Is it possible to work during the time of the Institute? The answer to that question is yes. Obviously, we all have to live through the 6 months. And what I try to say to our applicants is, this is only 6 months. It's going to be an all-encompassing, very intensive program. What you want to do is spend as much time as you possibly can in the Institute. Doing an internship if it's possible. Obviously, those are during the week. There's nothing on the weekend. It's when these businesses are open. So you may not be able to do that, which is a shame because we think you get a lot out of it. But the other side of it is that it's during May and June, we really recommend that you take significant time off of your job. And so, for example, if you can take vacation time, sick leave, we've had people, kind of go back down to half time. It's the more that you put into this program, the more you're going to get out of it. So it's critical that you spend as much time as you possibly can getting involved in the programs, doing the work, using the opportunity to be very, very present during all of the class times, all of the workshops, all of the internships if you can do it. And obviously in production, you want to be all in. Go to all the shoots. Be involved in all of the editing. The more you put into this, the more you're going to get out of it. So balancing, some kind of work life is obviously something that we all have to do. Our suggestion is as much as you possibly can during what is a very, very short, very intensive period, go ahead and try to see if you can work out a time, especially in May and June. flexibility with your boss, with your workplace, to spend as much time as you possibly can in the Institute. Um, so, other questions? Are you wondering about finances? Are you wondering about workflow? Are you wondering? You're going to see lots and lots of films. You're going to do a number of, sort of visual story assignments. You're going to do some written assignments. You're going to have some great technical training. GW has beautiful, beautiful high definition cameras and one of the best instructional labs in the nation. So you really are learning on everything that is absolutely state of the art. We shoot high definition P2 cameras, and you're obviously editing in, we use the Adobe Premiere platform, and you are using obviously the digital random access platform, which is Adobe Premiere. So you're getting some of the best state-of-the-art equipment. You're getting some of the best instruction that 26 years of experience and alumni has to offer. So it looks as if we've run out of time, unless there's any other questions. We want to, again, make sure that you do the following. Make sure that you know that the priority deadline, is November 1st. For more information and to apply, please go to gogwu.edu/Doc Institute. And again, all you have to do is to go to our website and you'll see that as well. Finally, this webinar will be available on the Documentary Center website, and you'll be able to access this if you want more information. And look, call Josh, email Josh, let him answer all of the questions that you may have, and we look forward to reading your application right after November 1st, and look forward to seeing you at the Institute come January. And with that, please, we appreciate your attending today, and we look forward to reading your application. Thank you.